Hello, I am Brenda Hillard, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in North Central Minnesota. Welcome to an episode of Create with Brenda, and I will be sharing with you today a demonstrator swap card that I made using the Irresistible blooms. This set is not in any of our catalogs. You will find it on the online store, and it's part of the online exclusives. So check it out there. It's a stamp set, dies. There's some beautiful loose frosted dots. I don't know if these are back in stock yet or not, but I know they were coming back. And it comes with this beautiful pack of Hello Irresistible, or you can purchase the beautiful pack of Hello Irresistible Designer Series papers. These papers are stunningly beautiful. Some are very soft colors, some are dark, and the best part about this is that it coordinates with some of the returning colors to the color families at Stampin' Up! And those two colors are Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock. So check that out. The card that I have for us today uses the dies, and it uses the little stamp here that says hooray, it's your day. And I love that. So let's take that out along with the stamp from Something Fancy, and that looks like this. I thought this would make a perfect wedding card. So we're going to use the one that says, here's to beautiful beginnings and happily ever afters. And again, that comes from the Something Fancy. This stamp set and coordinating dies are in the January through April mini and will be carrying over to the new annual catalog. However, it will not be a bundled price. So grab it now and save 10%. And when shopping with me, if your order is under $150, please use the host code right up here, and then you'll receive a handmade card from me. And if your order is a qualifying order for my host gift, you will receive that also. All of the details for host gifts can be found out on my website at createwithbrenda.com. Sorry, I can't talk and organize things at the same time, I guess. So the colors that we're going to be using, or the only thing we're going to be stamping, are the sentiments with Flirty Flamingo. Flirty Flamingo stayed with us. That's exciting. And the rest of it has been cut from the Designer Series paper or die cut from the papers. So I have a piece of Flirty Flamingo that measures 4 1/4 by 11. I scored it at 5. Whoops, I guess I didn't score it at 5 1/2 because it wouldn't look like that if I did. So I'm going to score that with my bone folder here. You guys, it's been a total stamping studio makeover. I'm telling you, with the color refresh and the new products coming in from the catalog, it's just so exciting. I still don't have my hard copy catalog, which I'm kind of sad about, but you know, it's coming. So because I had that little error up there, I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal, and this piece measures 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to put this basic white right down on my Flirty Flamingo, just like that. And then I have another piece of Flirty Flamingo, and this measures 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. I also have 3 strips of Designer Series paper that I cut from the Hello Irresistible paper pack. And these measure 1 inch wide by 4.5 inches long. So I cut a piece that measured 3 by 4.5 and then just cut it into 1 inch strips. I'm going to be adding dimensionals. You see how pretty the back side of this paper is too? Don't you just love it? I think it's probably one of my most loved papers in a while. But just wait, like I said, I say that now, wait till you see the Designer Series papers in the new annual catalog that will be coming on May 2nd. Oh man. And if you love blue, this catalog and color refresh is for all of us blue lovers out there. There's some really good greens too, so if you're not into blues, the greens are pretty amazing. I get a new pack or a new sheet of dimensionals here. That's always a big day. So I'm just going to add those on. Now let's take off our backing. And the first one that I'm going to put on our little piece of Flirty Flamingo. And I'm just going to I am going to try my best to get equal borders on the top, the left side, and the bottom. Okay? Take my backings off from here. And now this one I like to put over here, doing that same thing, trying to get the equal borders, only this time top right and bottom. You can tell I've been in the ink. Oops. Alright, so being in ink is a good thing, right? Then by doing this one last, I can center it nicely between the two I already have down on the sheet, or on the focal point. Alright, our next step is going to be to add Stampin' Seal to the back of our piece that we just did here, and I'm going to set that down in the center. Alright, I have a little piece of, I used thick basic white for this, and I don't know if that was because I had a scrap or I really meant it, but it measures 3/4 by 3.5, and this is the one that we're going to stamp, the Hooray, It's Your Day, and I'm going to stamp it over on the right side, or towards the right edge of our banner. Alright, I'm going to set that off to the side. I'm going to bring in our insert piece for our sentiment. Whenever I use a colored card base, I like to add a white insert. This is 3 3/4 by 5, and then remember I said I'm using that beautiful sentiment from the Something Fancy. So I'm just going to stamp that right on here. Oops, I had ink on my finger, but you know what? That's why paper has two sides, right? So let's try that one more time. Okay, I believe that we are done with the Flirty Flamingo, and the only thing I have left to stamp, and I just thought it added or brought the outside in, is I'm going to grab the Lost Lagoon and When I did the original card for the swap, I didn't have my new Lost Lagoon stamp pad yet, but I do now. So let's give it a try. I'm going to just put this little leafy piece, again, that comes from the Irresistible Blooms. I'm going to ink it up, and I'm just going to stamp right there. This is such a pretty color. I'm so glad it's back. It's like a blue, green, I don't know, lagoon green. Pretty, pretty. And then, because we put that little one on the inside, let's put one just on the flap of our envelope too. I think that'll really dress up this card for the wedding theme, don't you? So the ink colors again were Lost Lagoon, Flirty Flamingo. And I'll show you something here in just a second that I think is amazing. So these were simply die cut from the Designer Series paper using the dies from the Irresistible Blooms right here, these. And the flowers are die cut from the paper as well. Let me show you something. So the dies fit perfectly on the Designer Series paper, the 6x6. So what I did is I took a piece of 6x6 thick basic white cardstock, and I added a sheet of an adhesive sheet that looks like this, that is in the annual catalog, and I added that thick basic white onto the cardstock, or onto the Designer Series paper, before I die cut. So then when I die cut my flowers, they're really nice and firm and not flimsy. I feel like they it just adds a lot to the card to hold them where you want them. So let's bring our card base back in, and my new sheet of dimensionals. I'm just going to add a couple dimensionals on here, and I'm going to set this big flower down first. And then I'm going to add a dimensional to the smaller flower, and I'm just going to pop that. We'll go right here. And then these, the leaves, I'm just going to add Stamp and Seal. I want to put a little bit up there, and you know what I forgot? Our sentiment. So I'm going to pop this one off because I didn't press it down hard, so I still have the chance to do that. I'm going to add our sentiment on here, and I'm going to have that go from the edge of the Flirty Flamingo over to the other edge of the Flirty Flamingo, just having that little space there. Now let's tuck our flower in here as not to cover up the sentiment, right? And then with this 3-leaf that I cut out of the Designer Series paper, I just tucked that in over here, and you have to tuck it in far enough that it doesn't hang over the edge of the card. All right? So it's coming together. I love, love, love this simple layout. I think it really adds a lot to a card. Remember, I had the oopsie doopsie with the ink down there, so we used the other side. And I'm just going to put that right in here on the inside of our card. And let's add a few of these beautiful frosted, loose frosted dots. Now, remember, these are not adhesive backed, so we have to do little dots of glue. And go just like that. And then we want our take your pick tool, And let's open up our little dots here. And I'm just going to grab, let's grab the pink ones. I think those will be, this one had yellow. This one I'm going to use pink. And another new color added to the Subtles family is called Bubble Bath. And I think Bubble Bath is very close to these loose frosted dots. So now I've put the pink frosted dots on the card, and of course no naked envelopes, so there's our little leaf to bring it all together. I hope you've enjoyed today's card. The swap theme for this month for this group was flowers, and I have a bunch of swaps to share with you, so if you'd like to see those, you can stay on. And if not, thank you for joining me. I'm so glad you are here. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and get notifications when I add new projects. All right, you guys, so here it goes. This is, like I said, a demonstrator swap that I participate in every month. This is a beautiful card that uses the Regency Park Designer Series paper, which will be retiring, sadly, but yes, retiring. And look, this pulls out. Isn't that adorable? And then these sentiments are from the best day. And the best day was the one that had the cat in the cupcake. And there was something else too. There was a cat in a cupcake, and what else was there? I don't. Oh, a birthday cake. Yeah. So anyway, that combined those, and I just thought this was a really fun fold. And this was designed by Bonnie Kramer. Thank you, Bonnie. I love it. And again, the theme for this month was flowers. I don't think that's the right one. No. All right. So here's a card that was done by Stacy Barrett. She used the leafed foil paper, and I believe these are from the Dainty Delights, which is back in stock, and the brushed brass butterflies. That one's a tongue twister. And then on the inside, thank you for your kindness. So it is the Dainty Delight, naturally gilded paper, the faux suede trim, which is on the clearance, or on the retiring, early espresso cardstock, crumb cake ink, light daffodil Stampin' Blends, and then also with the light Parakeet Party. Thank you for the beautiful card, Stacy. I love it. Okay, next I have Michelle Baranek, and she too used the Irresistible, Hello Irresistible Designer Series paper along with the Irresistible Blooms bundle. Isn't it gorgeous? And look at what she put in the inside. So she was really, really busy die cutting, because this is the die cut. I love, look at how this opens too. It's like a double open card. Really, really pretty. I love this. Thank you so much, Michelle. All right, next I have a really colorful card from Kim Lundstrom. She did a wash background, die cut, and this is really smart. She does really fun things like this. So she die cut the flower, right? The meadow dies. And then the one she cut out, she put on the inside. How fun is that? And she used there's a trio pack of embossing folders, 3D embossing folders, and she used, I call it like a hash mark, or a hash mark embossing folder. Really pretty, really bright, really springy. Thank you, Kim Lundstrom. You are just amazingly talented. This card comes from Sherry Thiesing. She too used the Regency Park paper along with the punch. How fun are those? It says, let's celebrate love. Wishing you every happiness this special day will bring. I'm really kind of sad the Peaceful Moments sentiments are retiring. They are seriously my go-to. The other thing I wanted to show you about this card is, let me just jiggle around here a little bit, but look, it's a gift card holder, or you could put cash in there too for a wedding. Very nice, Sherry. Thank you. All right. Next, I have a flower-themed card from Don Michaels. And wow, is there some color on that one, huh? I love this layout. I've done this on one of my, I believe it was a Coffee and Create on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. on Facebook. But this is a fun layout in that you get to see both sides of the Designer Series paper, which I love, because some of our papers are just so pretty that it's hard to decide which to cover up. Thank you, Don Michaels. I love, love, love the card. And then we have, this is gorgeous. This is from Mary Alice Bellis. And she did a card that shows off the Designer Series paper too. How pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty is that, right? And she usually has a thing. Well, she didn't give me all of the product that she used, but that's okay. This is the, I believe it's called Fancy Flora paper. That is retiring. And this is the two-tone Flora, which did not retire. And this is simply gorgeous. I love this focal spot. I love the layout. Thank you, Mary Alice. It's so, so pretty. All right. So, and then I thought I should show this cute little Easter card that I got from my friend and fellow demonstrator, Kay Kaltoff. How cute is that? The little bunny is back, as is the punch. She's got the little carrots. She used the stitched edge from the color and contour along with the scalloped die. I just thought it was super cute with these little carrots popping up. And of course the 6x6 gingham, country gingham paper, which is retiring as well. So there's a few card ideas for you from one of my monthly demonstrator swaps I participate in. I hope, and then of course this was the card that I submitted for everybody. So I hope you'll join me again. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel, and until next time, bye for now.